a lot of people that are scared they gon' die. Couple of them thinking they'll be living in the sky. While I'm here living, man, I gotta ask why. What am I here for? I gotta figure out.
Numbers chapter 22. Then the people of Israel traveled to the plains of Moab and camped east of the Jordan River across from Jericho. Balak, son of Zippor, the Moabite king, has seen everything the Israelites do to the Amorites. And when the people of Moab saw how many Israelites there were, they were terrified. The king of Moab said to the elders of Midian, The mob will devour everything in sight, like an ox devours grass in the fields. So Balak, king of Moab, sent messengers to call Balaam, son of Beor, who was living in his native land of Pethor, near the Euphrates River. His message said, Look, a vast horde of people has arrived from Egypt. They cover the face of the earth and are threatening me. Please come and curse these people for me, because they are too powerful for me. Then perhaps I will be able to conquer them and drive them from the land. I know that this blessing falls on any people you bless, and curse fall on people you... I know that blessings fall on any people you bless, and curses fall on people you curse. Balkan's messengers, who were elders of Moab and Midian, set out with money to pay Balaam to place a curse upon Israel. They went to Balaam and delivered Balkan's message to him. Stay here overnight, Balaam said. In the morning I will tell you whatever the Lord directs me to say. So the officials of Moab stayed there with Balaam. That night God came to Balaam and asked him, Who are these men visiting you? Balaam said to God, Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent me this message. And then, look, a vast horde of people has arrived from Egypt, and they cover the face of the earth. Come and curse these people for me. Then perhaps I will be able to stand up to them and drive them from the land. But God told Balaam, Do not go with them. You are not to curse these people, for they have been blessed. The next morning Balaam got up and told Balak's officials, Go on home. The Lord will let me go with you, or will not let me go with you. So the Moabite officials returned to King Balak and reported, Balaam refused to come with us. Then Balak tried again. This time he sent a larger number of even more distinguished officials than those he had sent the first time. They went to Balaam and delivered this message to him. This is Balak, son of Zippor. This is what Balak, son of Zippor, says. Please don't let anything stop you from coming to help me. I will pay you very well and do whatever you tell me. Just come and curse these people for me. But Balaam responded to Balak's messengers, Even if Balak were to give me his palace filled with silver and gold, I would be powerless to do anything against the will of my God. But stay here one more night, and I will see if the Lord has anything else to say to me. Let me flip the page real quick. Okay. That night God came to Balaam and told him, Since these men have come for you, get up and go with them. But do only what I tell you to do. So the next morning Balaam got up, saddled his donkey, and started off with the Moabite officials. But God was angry with Balaam, that Balaam was going. So he sent the angel of the Lord to stand in the road to block his way. As Balaam and two servants were riding along, Balaam's donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. The donkey bolted off the road in a field, but Balaam beat it and turned it back on the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a place where the road narrowed between two vineyard walls. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it tried to squeeze by and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beat the donkey again. Then the angel of the Lord moved further down the road and stood in a place too narrow for the donkey to get by at all. This time, when the donkey saw the angel, it lay down under Balaam. In a fit of rage, Balaam beat the animal again with his staff. Then the Lord gave the donkey the ability to speak. What have I done to you that deserves your beating me 3 times? It asked Balaam. You have made me look like a fool, Balaam shouted. If I had a sword with me, I would kill you. But I am the same donkey you have ridden all your life, the donkey answered. Have I ever done anything like this before? No, Balaam admitted. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the roadway with a drawn sword in his hand. Balaam bowed his head and fell face down on the ground before him. Why did you beat your donkey those 3 times? The angel of the Lord demanded. Look, I have come to block your way because you are stubbornly resisting me. 3 times the donkey saw me and shed away. Otherwise, I would certainly have killed you and spared the donkey, or by now and spared the donkey. Then Balaam confessed to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned. I didn't realize you were standing in the road to block my way. I will return home if you are against my going. But the angel of the Lord told Balaam, Go with these men, but say only what I tell you to say. So Balaam went on with Balak's officials. When King Balak heard that Balaam was on the way, he went out to meet him at the Meribite town on the Aran River at the farthest border of his land. Didn't I send you an urgent invitation? Why didn't you come right away? Balak asked Balaam. Don't you believe me when I said I would reward you richly? Balaam replied, Look, now I have come, but I have no power to say whatever I want. I will speak only the message that God puts in my mouth. Then Balaam accompanied Balak to Kiriath Huzoth, where the king sacrificed cattle and sheep. He sent portions of the meat to Balaam, and the officials who were with him. The next morning, Balak took Balaam to Bomoth Baal. From there, he could see the people of Israel spread out below him. Chapter 23. Then Balaam said to King Balak, Build me 7 altars here, and prepare 7 young bulls and 7 rams for me to sacrifice. Balak followed the instructions, and the two of them sacred a young bull and sacrificed a young bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, Stand here by your burnt offerings, and I will go to see if the Lord will respond to me. Then I will tell you whatever he reveals to me. So Balaam went alone to the top of the bare hill, and God met him there. Balaam said to him, I have prepared 7 altars and have sacrificed a young bull and a ram on each altar. The Lord gave Balaam a message for King Balak. Then he said, Go back to Balak and give him this message. So Balaam returned and found the king standing beside his burnt offerings with all the officials of Moab. This was the message Balaam delivered. Balak summoned me to come from Aram. The king of Moab brought me from the eastern hills. Come, he said, curse Jacob for me. Come and announce Israel's doom. But how can I curse those whom God has not cursed? How can I condemn those who the Lord has not condemned? I see them from the cliff tops. I watch them from the hills. I see the people who live by themselves, set apart from other nations. Who can count Jacob's descendants as numerous as dust? Who can count even a fourth of Israel's people? Let me die like the righteous. Let my life end like theirs. Then King Balak demanded of Balaam, What have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies. Instead you have blessed them. But Balaam replied, I will speak only the message the Lord puts in my mouth. Then King Balak told him, Come with me to another place. There you will see another part of the nation of Israel, but not all of them. Curse at least that many. So Balak took Balaam to the plateau of Zophim, on Peak. He built 7 altars there and offered a young bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to the king, "Stand here by your burnt offerings while I go over there to meet the Lord." And the Lord met Balaam and gave him a message. Then he said, "Go back to Balak and give him this message." So Balaam returned and found the king standing beside his burnt offerings and with all the officials of Moab. "What did the Lord say?" Balak asked eagerly. This was the message Balaam delivered. "Rise up, Balak, and listen. Hear me, son of Zippor. God is not a man, so he does not lie. He is not human, so he does not change his mind. He has never spoken and failed to act. He has never promised and not carried it through. Listen, I received a command to bless God, God has blessed, and I cannot refuse it. No misfortune is in his plan for Jacob. No trouble is in store for Israel. For the Lord their God is with them. He has been proclaimed their king. God brought them out of Egypt. For them he is as strong as a wild ox. No curse can touch Jacob. No magic has any power against Israel. For now I will be son of Jacob. For now it will be said of Jacob, what wonders God has done for Israel. These people will rise up like lions, like a majestic lion rousing itself. They refuse to rest until they have feast on prey, drinking the blood of the slaughtered. Then Balak said to Balaam, "Fine, but if you won't curse them, at least don't bless them." But Balaam replied to Balak, "Didn't I tell you that I can do only what the Lord tells me?" The king of Balak said to Balaam, "Come, I will take you to one more place. Perhaps it will please God and let you curse them from there." So Balak took Balaam to the top of Mount Peor, looking over the wasteland. Balaam again told Balak, "Build me 7 altars and prepare 7 young bulls and 7 rams for me to sacrifice." So Balak did as Balaam ordered and offered a young bull and a ram on each altar. Chapter 24. By now Balaam realized that the Lord was determined to bless Israel, so he did not resort to divination as before. Instead, he turned and looked out toward the wilderness, where he saw the people of Israel camped, tribe by tribe. Then the Spirit of God came upon him, and this message he delivered. This is the message of Alam, son of Beor, the message of the man whose eyes see clearly, the message of one who hears the words of God, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob! How lovely are your homes, O Israel! They spread before me like palm groves, like gardens by the riverside. They are like tall trees planted by the Lord, like cedars beside the waters. Water will flow from their buckets. Their offspring have all they need. Their king will be greater than Agag. Their kingdom will be exalted. God brought them out of Egypt. For them He is as strong as a wild ox. He devours all the nations that oppose him, breaking their bones in pieces, shooting them with arrows. Like a lion, Israel crouches and lies down, like lioness who dares to arouse her. Blessed is everyone who blesses you, O Israel, and cursed is everyone who curses you. King Balak flew into a rage against Balaam. He angrily clapped his hands and shouted, "I called you to curse my enemies. Instead, you have blessed them 3 times. Now get out here. Go back home. I promised to reward you richly, but the Lord has kept you from your reward." Balaam told Balak, "Don't you remember what I told your messenger?" I said, "Even if Balak were to give me his palace filled with silver and gold, I would be powerless to do anything against the will of the Lord. I told you that I could say only what the Lord says. Now I am returning to my own people, but first let me tell you what the Israelites will do to your people in the future." This is the message Balaam delivered. This is the message of Balaam son of Beor, the message of the man whose eyes see clearly, the message of the one who hears the words of God, who was knowledgeable, or who has knowledge from the Most High, who sees a vision from the Almighty, who bows down to the eyes, down with eyes wide open. I see him, but not here and now. I perceive him, but not far in the distant future. A star will rise from Jacob, a scepter will emerge from Israel. It will crush the foreheads of Moab's people, cracking the skulls of the people of Sheth. Edom will be taken over, and Seir, its enemies, will be conquered. While Israel marches on in triumph, a ruler will rise in Jacob, who will destroy the survivors of Ir. Then Balaam looked over towards the people of Amalek and delivered this message. Amalek was the greatest of nations, but its destiny is destruction. Then he looked over towards the Canaanites and delivered this message. Your home is secure, your nest is set in the rocks, but the Kenites will be destroyed when Assyria takes you captive. Balaam concluded his message by saying, Alas, who can survive unless God has willed it? Ships will come from the coast of Cyprus. They will oppress Assyria and afflict Eber. But they too will be utterly destroyed. Then Balaam and Balak returned to their homes. Okay, guys. So that was our reading. That was 3 chapters. It was pretty quick. Quicker than yesterday's. It was only 17 minutes instead of 18. So I'm going to go to chapter 22. So we basically just read a lot about Balaam and Balak. As I look forward in my Bible, I can't really see any more of Balak and Balaam. So this was basically all we read today, was the story of Balak and Balaam. So Balak is basically he's a guy, he's a king of Moab, and he's basically threatened by the Israelites. So he's scared of them, and he doesn't want anything to do with them, basically. So he calls for Balaam because he knows he's powerful through the Lord, and that whoever he curses will be cursed, and whoever he blesses will be blessed. And Balaam is a man of the Lord, which is good because he has this power from the Lord, which helps him. So he sends for him. The first time Balaam doesn't come. The second time he does come. Even though the Lord doesn't tell him to, he comes the second time. But then the thing that I thought was pretty cool and I wanted to talk on was Balaam and his donkey. So basically, he's on this road with all the officials, and so he's on, and only the donkey really can see the angel of the Lord that's blocking the way. So first the donkey is crazy and he's kind of scared of it, and he tries to run away, but Balaam beats him and gets him back on the path. Then again, it goes in a narrower road, and the donkey is crazed and he tries to scoot towards the side basically to get through, and it crushes Balaam's foot, and so Balaam beats it again. And then the third time, the donkey gets beaten because he's scared of because he can't even get through the angel. God let the donkey speak, and I think that would be a thing that would scare me the most, is the donkey speaking. So basically he's speaking, and he's just going through talking to Balaam, and he's like, why do I deserve this? Can't you see the angel? And so Balaam finally realizes that, and he says, okay, so now I'm going to go with these officials, but I'm going to do whatever the Lord tells me. So in chapter 23 and 24, Balaam is basically, he's taken to different parts of where you could see the camps, different mountains, a plateau, and another mountain, I believe. So the first time Balaam, he does the 7 altars, and then 7 bulls and 7 goats on each one, I believe. as sacrifices, then the Lord tells him to bless the people. So then Balak gets mad at him because he's paid him basically to curse them, but Balaam cannot go against whatever God's will is, which is to bless the Israelites. Then he does the same thing for the next three. So he's had 21 altars at 3 different spots with 42 offerings or sacrifices, which was 21 bulls and 21 lambs, I want to say. Bulls and 7 rams. So bulls and rams. And then he blesses them 3 times because that's what the Lord says. Every time he goes out, he makes Balak stay at the altars with all the officials, and Balaam and basically talks to the Lord and gets the message to give to the people, basically to either bless them or curse them. Each time he blesses them. But the third time, what was different was Balaam realizes that the Lord is determined to bless Israel no matter what, basically, because he realizes basically that they're the Lord's people. So then, with his final message, he basically says, this is how they're gonna win. First, they're gonna take out a star will arise, and he's gonna basically take out Moab. And then it gets a little graphic, I don't know, by saying cracking the skulls of the people of Seth. And then Edom will be taken over, and Seir, its enemies, will be conquered. While Israel marches on in triumph, a ruler will rise in Jacob who will destroy the survivors of Ur. And then he ends it off by saying, alas, who will survive unless God has willed it? Ships will come from the coast of Cyprus. They will oppress Assyria and afflict Eber, but they too will be utterly destroyed. So then they return to their homes. So basically he's just saying that anybody who gets in the way of Israel there's not going to be any survivors, basically. The only survivors will be Israel's people. And like in chapters 19, 20, and 21, it's just going to be basically a slaughter. There's going to be reinforcements from the coast of Cyprus, but still nobody's going to be able to defeat this, which is awesome because that's how much the Lord cares for them, and that's his people. And again, that's once they realize that that's what happens, I bet they're going to really, really regret crying and complaining and cursing the Lord, basically, because of that, once they get into that land of milk and honey. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.
While I'm here living, man, I gotta ask why. What am I here for? I gotta figure out. Waste my life, no, I gotta make it count. If Christ is real, then what am I?